Hi guys, Al here with Max Roof. Hey, today we're going to talk a little bit about door knocking, that all important piece of our business that everybody has to do at one time or another. Hopefully, eventually get your business built and you get enough referral and other opportunities that you don't have to knock doors on a regular basis. But if you're starting out in this industry, door knocking is definitely going to be a part of what you've got to do to be successful. So, a couple of tidbits. I mean, first off, you've got to get your mindset ready. You can't just go out there cold. Um, it's kind of like going to work out if you don't stretch first, kind of thing. So, get your mindset ready. Get that caffeine in you if that's what you need. Play your favorite music. Get that pump up going, and smile. Get your mindset ready to go out and talk to folks. You have to realize also that it's not an option. It's not a choice. Treat this as if it's a part of a job. Now, many of you are probably 1099, and most people that start in the industry are. But you can't just take it as a freedom thing of, well, I'll go out there whenever I feel like it kind of thing. You've got to apply yourself and be disciplined enough to be the hardest boss you've ever had on yourself and to be the best employee you've ever been for somebody else. That's your mindset. And part of what you've got to realize is going out and door knocking and prospecting for business is just part of the job. That's your job. You have to do it. It isn't a choice. Now, as far as scripts go, you have to make sure that you practice what you're going to say at the door, obviously. And we're going to have training and things like that for our people and some more videos on that. But training is vital. It's the practice. No team in the NFL just goes out onto the field every Sunday and plays. They practice. That way, they make their mistakes not on the field, and they also can polish and get things fine tuned so that they can be a machine when they're out there. Same thing for you. It's really no different. So get into that mindset where you're doing script evaluation with maybe a partner, doing a little quid pro quo kind of thing back and forth, and get it out, practice in front of the mirror, whatever it takes. You also have to realize that not one script fits all. Now, I know some people out there in lead generation do believe that they say the same thing no matter what time of the year, no matter where they're at in the country, no matter when the storm date was. I myself have a little different philosophy about that. I think you have to make sense when you're talking to a homeowner. Now, what that means is, if you have a fresh storm and you're out there, you're going to say one thing. If you have a storm that's been a couple of weeks ago, you're going to say something a little different. If you're working a storm that happened the previous season, then it's a whole different ballgame. You have to be able to get out that whiff 'em, if you've heard that term before. And that's the what's in it for me to that homeowner very quickly. We all have heard it 1,000 times. You have 4 seconds or 3 seconds or whatever it is to make that first impression with somebody and get their interest. So in doing so, you can't just sound like everybody else. Oh, we're in the area doing roofs and we're offering free inspections. Everybody says that. So don't do that. You have to have a script that makes sense for what you're there to talk to them about. And it has to be compelling enough to not only get their interest, let them listen to you more, but then decide to go ahead and let you do your inspection or whatever. Um, that's a pretty important mentality thing as well. You've also got to see everywhere you look when you get into a neighborhood. You've prepped, you've practiced, you got your script ready, you're going to hit your neighborhood. You probably look either on a Hail map or Google Maps and kind of identify where you're going to work for that particular next 4 hours or what have you. And you got to make sure that as you look around, all you see is opportunity. It's not, oh man, I gotta knock the doors. How do I get out of the car? How do I motivate myself? You should be well past that by doing your mindset. But you also need to just realize that's an opportunity, that's money, that's money, that's money. And really scope out the neighborhood and track where you've been and work them properly so you can go back to homes that you've identified maybe have a bad roof and you want to come in and see it another time. Um, but you've got to see the opportunities. You got to look around with dollar signs in your eyes, guys. You just have to because that's what's really there. The other thing is you want to get yourself motivated properly by looking at your vision board, your goals for the week, for the month, for the year, and really understand why you're doing what you're doing. There's a reason that we all do this job. There's certain things that we want that the financial rewards give us, and you have to make sure that that's in the forefront of your mind when you're doing something that maybe you don't particularly care for. A lot of people don't. They go out and knock doors, but it's the necessary evil, and it gets us money. So you have to expect the no's. Don't go out there thinking that you're hoping and hoping nobody says no to me and doesn't be mean to me. You just have to realize, no, that's what I'm going to hear. I'm going to hear a lot of no's. That's just it. I'm going to go out there. A lot of people say no. I don't care. I'm just looking for the few yeses. And you have to also realize that they always say it's a numbers game, but it kind of is and it kind of isn't. You've got to make sure that you use your numbers correctly. I don't really want people to go out and knock 100 doors every day. Not only is that not a lot of fun, especially when it gets in the heat of summer, but you need to be more effective so you don't have to knock 100 doors to get what you want, which is at least a contract a day. And so you need to make sure that your pitch is right and that you're prepared when people answer the door, which I call a contact. There's door knocking and then there's the contact when you actually talk to a person that's a homeowner there that can make a decision. I think on average, if I think about it, I think about every 6 to 8 doors that we knock, we tend to get somebody home that's a qualified contact that we can talk to. And out of every 6 to 8 people that you talk to there, should roughly end up with at least one deal. So that's kind of the numbers if you want to look at the numbers of it. But our goal isn't to have you knock a bunch of doors, is to have you be more efficient and effective when you do get people at the door so you don't have to knock as many to get the same results or better. One of those things that you do at the door is you don't introduce yourself. You don't want to come up there, hi, my name's Al, I'm with Max Roof, and we're here in the neighborhood. Forget it. What does that mean that you are? You're a salesperson. And what is it that nobody wants to talk to? A salesperson. So you've got to get that out of your vernacular of introducing yourself and be more conversational. Have your pitch and be prepared to just get it out and get their attention. You don't want to come across as over desperate or over animated. Quite reality, you're more matter of fact at first because you don't really care. And when you don't care, you lower their little defenses a little bit because they're expecting you to come on and try and whack back every one of their objections and be aggressive at the door the longer they let you talk. You don't want to do that. You got to kind of act like you don't really care if they do this or not. You're not desperate. So part of that is in like an example of a initial pitch when a fresh storm. You knock the door, you step back, and props are very important for a lot of things. I've always believed have your clipboard and have your badge and act like you're ready to write something, and you want to be able to, when they answer the door, just kind of be matter of fact. That works for a lot of people. Not everybody, but it works for a lot of people that I teach. And it's just like, hi, sorry to bother you. Just have a quick question for you. We were dispatched to the area because of the recent hail that just happened. So we're trying to vet through all of the homeowners that got their claims filed already and who hasn't yet. Can you tell me if you've got your claim filed? That's it. That's it. And you're acting like you're going to write something down. That's one example of a pitch that doesn't sound like anything else anybody else is saying. Is it compelling enough to have them listen? And then they're trying to understand exactly what's going on, and that's where you want them. So don't introduce yourself. Don't get salesy. Be conversational. When they say they haven't filed a claim yet, then, what I like to do is say, oh, wow, you're the first person to tell me that today. Everybody's gotten their roofs done already. Just curious, how in the world did that happen? How come you didn't get, your claim done? Or how come your roof didn't get bought? That kind of thing. And then they'll tell you, and then now you open the door. Understanding the numbers when you're talking to these people will help you keep that mentality of that drive in the field. Record how many knocks a day, how many contacts, how many contracts you do. Let's say a guy does an average number of knocks of, say, 60 knocks in a day, and he talks to 10 contacts out of that 60. An average is one sale. Average sale, say about $1,200 in commission. If you rewind that back, you realize that for every door you knock, you make 20 bucks. For every person you talk to, you make 120 bucks. Of course, each sale is 1,200. Do that 5 days a week, you're at $6,000 a week and earn commissions and about $300K a year. That's the mentality that you want to have, is that I'm going to knock those doors. I don't care if they're there, they're not there. They tell me to go screw myself. It doesn't matter. I'm getting 20 bucks at a minimum. And if I told you, I'll give you 20 bucks for every door you go knock today, my guess is a lot of you would just go out there, knock, 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 right? So put that same mentality to yourself and see the opportunities every time you go and knock a door. Make your mind work that way. Make the commitment to knocking. Be well trained, and you simply can't fail, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this. We'll talk more in the future about additional techniques and things that you can do to help you be more successful out there. I appreciate it. Have a good day.